Hello guys, it's the Norfolk Tool Guy here again. Before we get started onto today's video, because I just need to apologise for my lack of videos recently. I've just been super busy with work and the lead up to Christmas. I haven't found the time to get down into the garage and really play with some tools. So before we get started, I just want to say a massive thanks to these guys down in front of you. I've got the two Chris's, Lazy Dog Woodshed and The Alchemist, over on Instagram. Both fantastic blokes. Chris, he's been a big supporter of my channel for a long time, and my Instagram page as well. He's sort of been there since I started, always giving me useful advice. We're always sort of pointing things out to each other, which I always think is quite nice. And then The Alchemist, he's been quite a big supporter of my channel and my Instagram as well. And I just really enjoy the things he does over on Instagram. He does some really fantastic work with his contractor work over in the States. And then obviously another massive thank you to everyone's favourite, Mr. Fix. John, you're a legend. Really inspired by a lot of your videos. And I just love the content you put out. So yeah, thank you for the stickers. I've already got one on the sticker wall, and I've just got to work out another place for this one. So yeah, cheers guys, thank you. So let's get into it. As you can see, I've got 3 bags in front of us here. These are all from the same person, but they're just separate job lots that I've picked up. A few interesting items that caught my attention in each one. So yeah, I couldn't really say no. I got all 3 bags of these tools for £20. I think he was clearing out his father's workshop. His father used to be sort of an engineer, did a lot of metalwork, a lot of woodwork as well, so sort of a jack of all trades. And he's been selling off loads of job lots of old tools, stuff that wasn't really useful to him, but he knew someone out there would be able to make use of it. So I thought I'd slide in there and sort of grab what I can. I missed out on the original lot that he was selling, that I had a lot of interesting adjustable wrenches in that I was really trying to pick up, but I managed to get there for the second bout of tools, and I basically bought everything available. So I'm going to go through these over 3 videos because there's quite a lot of tools in each bag to go through. So yeah, stay tuned. This could be a 3-part thing, and I think I'm going to start with this bag over here on the right as my first one for today. Right, so here we have it, bag number 1 of the 3-bag job lot. Let's see what we got. So I'm just going by what's on top and working my way down. So our first item we have is a Stanley hand crank sort of whisk drill. It is missing the chuck though, but I'm sure either the chuck's going to come up at some point in this haul, or I'm sure I can find one out there. But yeah, I really like this older Stanley one. I really like the handle that's on here. It's quite an interesting shape, and it's still got the handles on the side. So yeah, that's a Stanley egg beater drill. I really like the original yellow, so I might see if I can try and clean it up and preserve the yellow. If not, try and get a close enough yellow to match. It's always quite hard painting yellow. What else do we have there? We do have another sort of egg beater whisk style drill. This one's made in England. I can't seem to see any other maker's marks on here. Seems to work okay, quite tight in places, so it might just need to be taken apart, oiled and greased in various places, but overall it's in fairly good nick for the age. So yeah, two drills so far. And I was talking to Tony earlier. He put a video up of cleaning one of these Raybone adjustable squares up. I thought mine was as bad as his one, but it turns out the rule is in quite good nick, so it's just going to be the faces which are quite crusty at the moment, but the bubble's still in there, no cracks, so it still works fine. How does it slide? Oh, it's a little bit tight, but nothing we can't fix. So yeah, we've got a nice Raybone adjustable square. We have 2 folding boxwood rules here. The first one is a boxwood Raybone made in England, a nice 4-piece folder. I do quite like these. I don't have too many, and the ones I do have are in quite rough shape, so it's nice to get some that are in fairly reasonable nick. And this one's a Raybone Chesterman, number 1161, made in England, and again it's another 4-post or 4-fold rule. And there always seem like a pair of circlip pliers almost. They've got rounded tips, so I'd imagine they're probably for that. Maybe some heavier duty circlips. There is a name on there, but I can't quite make it out. I don't know if you guys can, if it'll focus. It's not going to focus today. But yeah, so that's a nice pair. They should clean up quite nicely. I don't think I'm going to be able to save the chrome plating. Ah, here we go. There is a pattern number on here. So pattern APR 21807. And it's 17, 19, 18. So I don't think they're that old, but I could be proven wrong. Potentially a logo there. And it wouldn't be a tool haul if there wasn't a King Dick style bicycle wrench. This one looks like it's just got British made down the centre there in the adjuster, and then steel and steel on the jaws. Can't seem to see any King Dick markings, so I'd say it's a King Dick style, possibly a King Dick wartime, being as it just says British made. They're always quite nice to pick up. Got a big old set of mole grips. These are Acesa, made in Spain. I can never pronounce the name. I've got a few of their spanners. 10-inch grip, chrome vanadium. So yeah, seem to be a good working pair. Always nice to have. I don't have a pair that big, so they'll definitely come in handy. A couple of wire brushes, always handy. A Wilco one and a Tommy Walsh. Not much you can say about them. They're wire brushes, but obviously always a handy thing to have when you clean up old tools and collect old tools. Then we've got a sort of bolster chisel, nice wide blade here. There is some names in there, but it's covered under, well, whatever this is, plaster or filler or something along those lines. So I'm sure I can get that cleaned up. So I've got a bit of indigestion today, so I'm really struggling. It's got a few big screwdrivers in this haul. So we've got a, well, I would say a flathead, but more like a rounded tip. Maybe that's been rounded off for a purpose, not quite sure. It does have some letters on the tip there, or what's left of them, like ER. So I'm not sure if that was rounded off for any specific task. We'll get all the big screwdrivers out. So we have another one. And there's not really much left of this. It's almost a fire poker at this point. Someone's modified the tip for some reason. It's a plastic handle one as well, but that plastic handle has seen better days. Can't seem to make out any maker's marks on it, so that's a unknown. I'm sure I can find something to do with that. And then we've got a Stanley. I instantly recognised it was a Stanley because the plastic ring here. You can just about see Stanley there. Sorry, the light's reflecting in a really bad way today. Yeah, so yet again another quite rounded off tip. So I don't know if they've been modifying them for certain jobs. It's the same with this one. There is a maker's mark, but it's so rusty up here I can't work out who it is. But again, the tip looks like someone's taken a grinder to it and modified the tip. Quite happy to get these. As people, if you follow me on Instagram at the Norfolk Tool Guy, will see I'm quite. I do have a collection of Elliott Lucas tools, and then we've got another pair of Elliott Lucas sort of slip joint water pump pliers here. These are in worse nick than my others, but I'm always happy to pick up anything Elliott Lucas. Obviously a lot of tape on the handle there. Bring that off. Hopefully the handles are being really good nick under there because of the tape. Sometimes it holds moisture though, and causes a bit more rust than you want. Rather odd sort of open-ended screwdriver shank here, but I think if I pop this out, yeah, it seems like you can pop it into your drill as a bit holder, and it sort of comes with this screwdriver handle almost, so you can use your screwdriver or your drill bits in a screwdriver. Maybe there used to be a lid on that, hold a few bits in it. With what's left of a trowel, obviously another thing that's been modified to do a job. Not quite sure what that job was, but I think this one might be beyond saving. I don't think I would be able to use it for anything. Might be able to make a few springs for pipe wrenches out of the material. That's something Jim and Tool Restoration told me you could do. It's another screwdriver that said the tip ruined. Just marked with it'll focus, Sheffield there. Doesn't appear to be any other maker's marks, but the actual handle itself is quite nice, so I may be able to, if I can't save the tip and reform it into a new tip, I might be able to just use the handle on one of my other screwdrivers. It's in a bit better condition. One of the bigger items in this bag is a Paramo vise made in England. Seems to be mostly intact apart from the corner here is missing, but it works. It's stiff, but it works. Might be a nice interesting restoration project. I'm not really a welder, so I don't really know what I can do about that. But yeah, a number 00 heavy duty vise by Paramo. I do have, wherever I put it, I do have a Paramo number 1 as well, so that was given to me by my girlfriend's dad, so I'll add this one with there. And if not, if there is anyone out there restoring a vise and does need a few certain parts, it can always be parted out if I can't do anything with it. And then we've got a folding rule here. This is trying to stop the light from reflecting is always the hardest part. A Raybone Chesterman folding rule, 2 folder. It's in very good nick. I have got a few of these now, and none of them are in this nice of a condition, so it's always a good thing. Right, we got files, lots of files again. You know how I love files. We've got a half round, a triangle file, bunch of little files. We've got another small half round, another small triangle, another triangle file. I'll try and skip over files. I mean, sometimes you get a nice interesting one. A triangle file. This one seems to be a bit more of an interesting one, a rasp. It's got a sort of pitchfork there as the logo. ENGLA as a maker's name, possibly the company that made it. It still feels really, really sharp, so I could definitely repurpose and make use of that one. And we've got a bigger triangle file here. This one's a Monja LTD. It's got a hexagonal shank, so it seems to be a well-constructed file. A small round file with the tips snapped. But the good thing about collecting or ending up with loads of files is even if these files are ruined, you've got loads of handles to use on some of your better files. We've got another wood handle screwdriver here. This one, I don't think you guys are going to be making out, but it's a Marples and Sons from Sheffield. I've got quite a few Marples screwdrivers. I'm always happy to get more. Obviously, again, someone's butchered the tip with a grinder. I'm not really sure what the purpose of butchering the tips of all these screwdrivers were, but it's going to be many hours of fun trying to repair them. Got a small square file here, nice and sharp, feels like it's barely been used, so always nice. And then I'm not sure what this one is apart from broken. It's not a file because it doesn't have any cutting teeth. It's just sort of a smooth hexagonal shank. So if anyone knows what that is, you know, feel free to let me know in the comments. sometimes there are tools out there that I'm unaware of what they're called or what their uses are. And we've got a larger round file here. This one's in fairly good nick actually. Still feels really sharp. This is a still chainsaw file. So for when you're sharpening your chainsaw teeth on the chain. So I do have a chainsaw that I use quite regularly. So that will come in handy. I'll put that in my chainsaw sharpening kit. Then we have a tip cobard made in Yugoslavia, flathead screwdriver, again with the tip sort of fairly well rounded off, but that one shouldn't take too much work to fix. Quite a nice screwdriver, nice orange plastic handle. I've had a few made in Yugoslavia tools recently. Got a few little screwdrivers. We've got a cheapy Wilco one, unbranded sort of blue plastic, and then my favourite, I really like these old Stanley screwdrivers. Quite a lot of them. I always try and pick them up. I just remember my dad always using a set of these before I bought him a really nice set of screwdrivers. Or I bought a really nice set of screwdrivers, and then I think he went out and got the same. I mean, so yeah, every time I see these I always pick them up, add them in. I don't think I've got the small Phillips stubby, so it's quite nice to add that to my pile. Small pair of spring loaded, but the springs seem to have popped out of place, wire cutters. These are Rolsons. I mean, they make okay like starter tools, cheap tools, just to get a job done. Here in the UK, we've got a triangle file, a big drill bit, and like a milling bit, probably for a drill press, or maybe even use on a lathe for boring. It seems to be a wood. You probably have to correct me on this. I know I'm not too knowledgeable on my drill bits, but I'm pretty sure the wood bits have the little spike on it. The wood bits that I use on a regular basis obviously do. So yeah, so it looks like it's a big wood bit. Could be wrong, but it's fairly similar to all the other wood bits I have, apart from obviously being 4 times the size. A little bit of a pry bar almost, slight kink in it. I don't know if this is, someone's probably made this for a job, but yeah. That's the last few bits inside this this first bag. We've got a set of pincers, upholsterer's pincers, carpenter's pincers for dealing with nail pulling and sort of end snipping, end cutters. We have another smaller pair covered in what appears to be cement, and it's got made in England written across the top here. Don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it because the light is quite bad in here today. I do have another similar pair of them that I cleaned up a while ago that has that. It's the embossed writing. We have an old half round file and another square shank one, or square file I mean. There is a name there, but it's quite hard to make out. Hoping the camera can pick it up, but just don't think I'm going to be having much luck with the camera and lighting today. And then the last thing in here is a PW 9687 Ultra Tensile. So these must be, yep, Elliott Lucas. So I don't actually have a set of end snippers like this. These are quite shallow as well for my Elliott Lucas collection. So I'm quite happy to pick these up. They definitely need a clean. They're covered in, these are also sort of covered in cement and concrete, and or it could be, yes, a sort of cement or concrete. Yeah, I'll give these a clean. They'll fit right into my Elliott Lucas collection. So yeah, that's everything I got for you today in this first haul, guys. So please remember to like and subscribe. Anything you sort of know a bit more about than me, feel free to pop it down in the comments. I always like engaging with you guys. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.